New Zealand is often described as the Earth's shore, a remote geological marvel where the edge of the world feels visible and untouchable. Spanning 268,000 square kilometers, it is a land of dramatic contrasts where you can skate on glacial ice in the morning and swim in a pure, untouched lake by afternoon. As of 2026, while it looks massive on a map, it remains home to only 5.3 million people. This creates a unique, empty beauty where 30% of the land is protected national park and 80% of the energy is harvested from the wind and water. The story of this land began nearly 700 years ago with Maori explorer Kupe. Legend tells us his wife, Kuramarotini, looked at the horizon and cried out, "Heo, heo, Aotearoa," the land of the long white cloud. This was the last significant landmass on Earth to be settled by humans, making it the ultimate social experiment. It is a place where war and corruption feel a world away, consistently ranking at the top of the Global Peace Index. It is the real New Zealand, a sanctuary so distinct it shouldn't be confused with any other land on the map. New Zealand is shaking off a period of economic stagnation as it steers toward a promising 2026 with a nominal GDP nearing $248.67 billion and a per capita wealth of $46,130, signaling a resilient recovery. This resurgence is fueled by the nation's food and fibre backbone, a powerhouse primary sector led by dairy, meat and horticulture that is forecast to pump $62 billion into the global market. While these rugged exports provide the country's trade muscle, the true engine room is a sophisticated service sector that generates roughly 75% of GDP, bolstered by a rebounding tourism industry and a high-tech surge in biotechnology. As major institutions like the IMF and NZ Treasury project growth rates as high as 3.4%, the land of the long white cloud is successfully blending its traditional pastoral roots with a modern, service-driven future. In this tour, we are going to peel back the postcard. We will explore the city of sails, the windy capital, and the resilient garden city. We'll look at the secrets only experts know, from the sunshine tax to the thriving Ethiopian Kiwi communities that have travelled 14,000 kilometres to call this island home. Prepare yourself. New Zealand doesn't just invite you to visit, it invites you to change. We begin in Auckland, the city of sails. Founded in 1840, it is home to 1.7 million people and generates 37% of the nation's wealth. It is a city of 4 seasons in one day, where the sun might invite a t-shirt in the morning, but the wind from its 53 dormant volcanoes demands a jacket by noon. Here, the lifestyle is defined by slip, slop, slap. Slip on a shirt, slop on sunscreen, and slap on a hat, a survival tactic against the intense southern sun that has become a national identity since the 1980s. "600 kilometers south lies Wellington, the coolest little capital in the world. Founded in 1839, it's a city where the wind greets you at the airplane door before any human does. It has 220,000 residents. It's a place fueled by coffee and craft beer. They say if you tested a local's blood, you'd find traces of a world-class espresso. From the iconic red cable car to the bustling historic Cuba Street, named after the ship that brought the first settlers, Wellington is a compact, walkable masterpiece of political history and vibrant nightlife. Finally, we look to the South Island's anchor, Christchurch, known as the City of Gardens. It's a model of resilience. After the 2011 earthquakes, it was rebuilt with ultra-modern, earthquake-proof steel blended with its original Gothic stone. With 390,000 residents, it offers a peaceful pace of life, where you can punting on the Avon River or walk through the massive Hagley Park. These cities represent a dual heritage, modern skyscrapers standing respectfully beside traditional Maori carvings. We leave the pavement for the prehistoric at Milford Sound, Pio Tahi. Rudyard Kipling called it the eighth wonder of the world, and it's easy to see why. Cliffs rise 1,200 meters straight out of the ink-dark water. We remember Donald Sutherland, the 1870s hermit who first told the world of these hidden falls. When the clouds break, thousands of temporary waterfalls appear, a phenomenon known as the Tears of the Mountains. It's a place where nature remains completely untouchable. From the wild south, we fly to the historical north, the Waitangi Treaty Grounds. This is the birthplace of the nation, where in 1840 the treaty was signed between the British Crown and Maori chiefs. It isn't just a tourist site, it's the heartbeat of the country's identity. We see this identity alive today in the haka, the sacred moko tattoos, and the carved staffs of the Maori people, who have moved from the battlefields of history to the halls of Parliament and the global stage of rugby. To round out the natural tour, we visit the green fairy tale of Hobbiton and the biological starry night of Waitomo. Underground, millions of glowworms illuminate limestone caves where Maori chiefs once paddled in total silence. Whether it's the rolling hills of the Shire or the glow of the caves, New Zealand proves that the most beautiful things are often hidden, either at the top of a mountain or deep inside the earth. Turning to the practical, the 2026 job market has moved beyond just sheep and dairy. New Zealand is embracing the weightless economy, tech, data, and innovation. For bioinformaticians and specialized software developers, the biotech boom is real, with senior roles in Auckland commanding salaries between $140,000 to $160,000 per year. The country's isolation makes it a perfect laboratory for genomic research and primary industry innovation. However, the backbone remains the land. New Zealand has 5 times more sheep than people and over 10 million cattle. In the vast rural areas, life is a partnership between human and animal, where a single farmer manages thousands of acres with the help of highly trained dogs responding to coded whistles. For the junior professional, the average monthly income sits around $5,500 to $6,500 per month, but the true currency here is the social wage. This is the story of the 5 p.m. exodus. Unlike the grueling hours of New York or London, Kiwis value the weekend religiously. If the surf is up or the weather is clear, offices empty early. The career advice is specific. If you can help a farm become carbon neutral through green tech, you are golden. It's a place where you work to live, ensuring you have the energy to hike a mountain or spearfish in the ocean before the sun sets. Paradise has a high entry fee, often referred to by locals as the sunshine tax. This is the price you pay for world-class air, safety, and scenery. For a single person looking to live in the heart of the action, a one-bedroom apartment in the city centers of Auckland or Wellington currently ranges from $1,900 to $2,850 US per month. Because of these steep prices, New Zealand has a deeply rooted flatting culture. It is perfectly normal to see professionals in their 30s sharing a large, historic character home in the suburbs to split the costs and enjoy a built-in community. Beyond rent, the day-to-day cost of living is driven by New Zealand's geographical isolation. For a single person, the estimated monthly expenses, excluding rent, sit at approximately $1,750 US. We break this down for the viewer. $600 to $800 US for groceries, where a block of butter or a dozen eggs can feel like luxury items. $250 US for utilities like electric power and high-speed internet, and $150 to $200 US for a monthly transport pass. The remaining $500 disappears quickly into New Zealand's famous cafe culture and weekend exploring. We show a montage of a Kiwi supermarket run, illustrating that while the quality of local produce is unmatched, the end of the supply chain location means you pay for every kilometer that a product traveled to get to your shelf. To thrive here, you must have number 8 wire ingenuity, the famous Kiwi DIY spirit. Because professional services are expensive, people learn to fix, build, and create for themselves. This resilience is mirrored in the story of the Ethiopian community. Arriving 14,000 kilometers from home, they have built a thriving life despite these high costs, establishing beloved restaurants and community hubs that have become essential to the Kiwi fabric. It's a culture of self-reliance, where the government provides free emergency healthcare, ACC, and quality education, but the citizens provide the grit and creativity to keep the islands moving. We bring the tour full circle under the starlight of Lake Tekapo. New Zealand is a country that the world wishes to visit, but few truly understand. It is a nation that calls itself Kiwi, named after a flightless bird that represents their unique, grounded nature. It's a place where you can earn a world-class salary in engineering or bioinformatics, but you will spend it on a life lived outdoors rather than on material excess. The real story of New Zealand is about balance. It's about the person who works in an Auckland high-rise on Monday, but is exploring the City of Gardens or the Southern Alps on Saturday. It is a land that is geographically far from everyone, yet socially closer than most. If you want to get rich quick, this isn't your destination. But if you want to live thickly, with deep connections to the earth and your neighbors, there is no place better. New Zealand doesn't just invite you to see its beauty, it invites you to become part of it. From the winds of Wellington to the silence of the Sound, this has been the tour. If this journey moved you, hit that subscribe button and tell us, would you travel 2,000 kilometers from the nearest neighbor to call this home? Until next time, keep exploring.